You have arrived at the K.O.E. Nation. Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very long time coming spirits review of Old Forester 1897 Bottled in Bond. Folks, I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man of the power, the man that makes you the podcast cower. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. And I am joined this evening by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the quadruple distilled, non-chill filtered, blood master of ceremonies, 15-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, Tony fucking G. You can find me at Linktree/Tony G. And I am one bottled in bondage loving motherfucker. And here we are, Old Forester 1897. The second installment of the Whiskey Row series from a very trusted name in bourbon, Old Forester.
Yes, and I'm going to hand this off to one Tony G as the great 2020 vision of Extreme.
2015. This is 100 proof. You don't need 2015 vision to see that. It says it right here. 100 proof. And obviously it's bottled in bond, so you should know already. Old Forester 1897. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. With the passage of the Bottled and Bond Act of 1897, that's where they get the number. Old Forester transitioned from 90 proof to 100 proof. Originally produced in Louisville's Whiskey Row, this whiskey has a rich, bold character reminiscent of a 19th century bourbon. On the back, bottled in bond, this whiskey is distilled by us only, and we are responsible for its richness and fine quality, its elegant flavor, and solely due to the original finesses developed with care. There's nothing better in the market, said George Garvin Brown, the founder. Old Forester, 1897.
100 proof.
Big jump up from the 1870. This is 10-hole proof different.
Boy, do you get a little more richness on the nose.
You definitely do. Although, I do get a little lingering aspect of the 1870, if I'm going to be honest. And it gets that spongy sweetness.
It's that, that apple comes through.
It's still that apple.
No.
But this is definitely has more... I don't want to say vanilla?
Yeah, I'm getting all the oaks, the vanillas, the bourbon notes that you'd expect.
Yeah, but it's like... It's all the bourbon aspects you'd expect, but then, like, smothered in, like, sweetness. Like a glaze.
Darn.
Yeah, it sounds horrible. Yeah, when I think horrible, I think donuts. Said nobody ever. Oh, my God. So much darkness.
There's a bit of, like, almost, dark chocolate toasty. Like,
dark roast. Dark roast. That's so different than
it's a controversial opinion, but Old Forester 1897 is one of my favorite Old Foresters.
And that's just that's
like, remember when we did the Old Forester video to decide which one would go into the tournament? This was the one that was the hardest for me to eliminate because it was personally my favorite.
Yeah, it's got such a different cascade of just earthy tones
and great bourbon flavors,
sweetness.
Yeah, the vanilla. There's no real caramel, but it's a different sweet.
Yeah, it's a vanilla oak. Wow, God,
lovely. It
started out reminding me on the nose, and now that comes through on the nose a bit. The palate does, but it started out reminding me of the 1870, and now it couldn't be further from. God, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, this is
the difference of proof. I mean, this is
the difference.
This is proof in the difference of proof, folks. Wow.
The longer you stay in it, the more you get like a brownies quality on the back of your tongue.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time putting this down.
So, Tony, we now get to the difficult part: the grading.
Wow.
For those who don't know, we grade this spectacular whiskey on a couple of 5-star scales. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E. Nation has advised you well. So, We're going to grade this as a bourbon, as a whiskey, as a cask-aged spirit. It's shelving, and for those new to the show, the secret fifth question. So, Tony, as a bourbon, I'm going to let you open this one up. How would you grade this?
As a bourbon, I'm going to go an easy 3.75 because now, if you watch the 1870 review, I'm going to kind of contradict myself here. This does not necessarily have a absolute familiarity of bourbon flavor that you would expect because it does have some uniqueness, but the high proof works in its favor in that regard because this,
marvelous at the proof.
As you said, it does have a lot of good bourbon qualities, but it's unique enough that this isn't going to be something that everybody's like, oh, it's just bourbon, whatever bourbon you've got back there. People would actually want to seek this out, bourbon connoisseurs especially. So that, 3.75.
As a bourbon, I'm going to go 4 stars.
That is fair.
It's gorgeous. Like, again, this is a bottle that you have no idea how many times I've wanted to reach for over these past 3 years that I've had this on my shelves. They're like, no, we must do the review first. And here we are.
Yeah.
As a whiskey.
As a whiskey, much like the 1870, I'm going to go 4 stars as a whiskey because that's beautiful. This is it's not at all like the 1870, but a lot of the same reasons. It's so unique. This would mix with some. This would make some amazing mixed drinks.
Dr. Pepper. I know, but most people are going to mix it with whatever soda they got.
It's too easy, but this specifically with its dark complexities and its baking chocolate, like you wouldn't need a heavy soda type flavor to make this work. This would transcend a drink. Sure, but something soft would couple with this because this is not soft. This hits hard. That's lovely.
So as a whiskey, I'm going to 4 stars as a whiskey. Now, as a cask-aged spirit, it is bottled in bond, so it is at least 4 years old.
Yep.
God, this is tough.
I'm going to go 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah.
And what makes you say that?
Sure, it's 100 proof. We only know that it's at least 4 years old. This isn't going to be... This isn't proof in casking. It's just the result of doing the bare minimum in terms of what you have to do to call something bottled in bond. This recipe right here, if you did a special release, holy shit, what a remarkable piece of art that could be.
What do you want to bet? Like, you just leave this at cast strength and they call that the birthday bourbon?
Oh, perfect. Marvelous. Just do that.
So,
I'm glad it's readily available.
You know, Tony, I think I'm going to agree with you. Cask-aged spirit, it's so good. This whiskey's so good. It'll make you just stroll down memory lane or stroll down the alley off of memory lane. It's that good of a whiskey. So
it's cutting even.
Yes. Cutting whiskey, cutting. Lots on the cutting floor. So, folks, now we move on to shelving. This is difficult. This is not a bottom shelf.
Oh, God, no.
The problem is you'd have a hard time placing this on your middle shelf and you'd have a hard time placing this on your top shelf, wouldn't you?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Like, if only there was like a shelf that you could put it in the middle there.
That's where it'd be.
Because, okay, if your top shelf is lonely, there's not much there.
Perfect.
Put this there. If your middle shelf is lonely, this is where it should be. And so that's how this is going to go for me. Now, truth be told, this bottle is not going to last long after we get done with our reviews and round robins and such, if we get that far tonight. So that moves right on to the secret fifth question. When this bottle runs empty, will I seek another one? Absolutely yes. This is my personal favorite of the Whiskey Row. I actually like this more than the 1920 bottling. So that's to each their own, but this is just one that I've always loved. Tony.
Yeah, this is I'd forgotten how incredible this was. Again, I want to go back and watch our original reviews of the entire line. It's been almost 4 years since we've done that. I want to see how different they are, because I don't remember this one being as dark and complex and chocolatey. So yeah, this is this is one I want to snatch up.
That's why it went from this on our initial review night to here. Okay, because of how dark and chocolatey and complex.
Yeah.
This was my I'm brooding and thinking about really deep stuff, like at midnight whiskey. Okay, so this amount of the whiskey, there was some very deep thoughts that came with this. So yeah, this is excellent, and I'm looking forward to brooding with the rest of it.
Like if a giraffe wore a tie, would it wear it up here? Would it wear it down here?
If a fly lost his wings, does it become a walk?
There once was a man from Nantucket.
And folks, as I'm known to say, around here, from here all the way to Nantucket. All that being said, thank you for joining us here at the K.O.E Nation for this long time coming review of 1897 Old Forester Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I hope all of you make it back here to the K.O.E Nation happy, healthy, much the wiser. Raise a glass to yourselves. God bless every last one of you. Tony G, take it away.
Another beautiful offering from the old whiskey row of Old Forester, and this is just marvelous. Catch you on the next one.